Johnny Gargano! No.
Are you sad?
Yeah.
What have you got to be sad about? He had like the best like go away ever.
Yeah. But I don't I didn't see all that much, but I only started watching NXT like maybe a year and a half ago. And I don't do go backsies, so
You don't want to go 8 years back? That's literally for one specific listener that we have who's going to understand that. How are you?
yeah, I'm fine. Welcome to Tim and Joel, Calling in the Ring. I'm Tim.
I'm the other guy.
How's it going?
I did wonderful. I had brunch this morning. Brunch went long, so at
I'd
like
say.
11:59 a.m. Eastern.
Just lunch now.
Well, I ate before that. I'm like jumping back home, and it's snowing in Toronto, so I'm like rushing with my boots on, trying to like not fall and die. And I get in 11:59 a.m. Eastern. I hop on this thing, and I'm like, I'm here. And you're like, I was gonna start without you, and I'm like, the hell you were. And then here we are, talking about professional wrestling like we do every single Wednesday and Sunday at noon Eastern.
Yep.
Right on time.
Sure.
Listen, be on time with us. Actually, you know what? Be ahead of the time. Be ahead of the curve. Toss a thumbs up on the video even before it goes live. Don't do it at like 12 hours before it goes live because YouTube does a thing where they remove everything. It's kind of ridiculous. But leave a comment. You could do that anytime. You join us in our chat room when we're live, or leave us a comment after the fact. Be like, hey, these Tim and Joel guys are pretty good, right? Yeah, I like these Tim and Joel guys. Yeah, exactly. Or you can share the video too and subscribe to the channel while you're here because we want to have a big 2022, Tim.
Sure.
Yeah, we have a Discord too. Join it. There's a link
Join
in the description. Join it. Good morning. We are doing well. Hope you're doing well out there. Hope everyone's having a good day, a good night, a good morning, whatever time of day it is. We have a lot to talk about when it comes to wrestling. We're going to talk
Mostly
about
NXT.
Mostly NXT. We're going to talk about Raw because Raw wasn't too bad, although the ratings will tell you otherwise.
Ratings, again, don't matter. I don't care. No one
That's
cares.
fair.
Nerds care. Nerds who don't know what they're talking about care.
You matter, Tim.
No.
You know what I really want to talk about? I want to talk about Eric Young versus Channing Decker in a hardcore match at Greektown Wrestling in Toronto on December 23rd. That's what I want to talk about.
My God, it's hardcore now. I didn't know it was. Well, of course, Channing Decker is always hardcore. Neither one of them should be doing any more hardcore matches.
Listen, Eric Young challenges Decker. Decker then retorts like an hour or two later, being like, "Yeah, I'll kick your ass and I'll take your spot at Impact in a hardcore match." And I'm like, "All right, stakes." Honestly, if we can get Decker on TV on Impact, I would like that.
Yeah, me too. He's a fun guy. He's
been around Ring of Honor once upon a time too.
Makes sense.
He's not the reason Ring of Honor is having their final pay-per-view this weekend, but you know.
I didn't know they were doing one last hurrah. I thought it was just done.
It is their final battle. That's the name of the show. It's every year at this time. The December pay-per-view is Final Battle, but this is their potentially final.
Their final battle.
We'll see. Listen, the card looks stacked. It looks like there's a lot going on. I'll be watching. I'm sure other people will be following along in other forms of media and socials and all that stuff. But, you know, it's an interesting time for Ring of Honor. It's an interesting time for wrestling. We'll talk about contracts like we say in the thumbnail. Yeah, we will. We're really just going to talk about who's going to go where. We're going to talk about where people are going. Tim, do you want to talk about NXT last night?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy NXT last night? What did you think?
Yeah, I did. I liked it. I thought I liked it a lot.
Really? It felt like there's a big, not imbalance, but there's a big dichotomy of people who either really, really liked it or really, really didn't. There didn't seem to be anything in the middle.
Yeah, it feels like that way for literally everything though now. So I don't really care.
I don't know, just reading through my timeline, people talking about NXT, and it was kind of a big mix. Some people really liked it. I really liked the show last night. I think there was a lot of really good in it. I mean, we open up immediately with the cage match with Van Wagner.
Oh, he's trying to sound scary, but he just sounds like a caveman.
He just sounds like a Midwestern dork.
I don't know. He sounds like a weird caveman person, and I don't know. I'm behind it. It's good.
I'm I'm gonna beat up everyone, please and thank you. That's
Yeah.
that's the new Von Wagner character. He's just gonna
a
be
simple. He's a simple man. He needs new tights. Damn it! No one
He
has answered
does.
that call. Oh my god! He
Everyone is
can't
saying
be.
it.
He's like one of the new top guys, and they won't give him decent pants.
Oh man. He comes out, he's got a nice jacket. He's got
Yeah,
half of it.
sure.
But
Half of
man,
it.
there's something lacking in the tights department. I agree. We talked about it on the watch along too. Everyone
It's
was
a
drawing
bad
attention to his
fit.
tights.
Yeah, it just makes him look like he's got dump ass.
Oh dear. You know who else had dump ass was Road Dogg. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jesse James is just like, these look great on you. They're perfect.
Yeah, this is the look. Yeah,
This is the
it looks it just looks like they're like bad sweatpants by someone who owns too many cats. Like that's what they look like.
Someone listening to the show is like, I've been called out.
Yeah, I mean, you know who you are.
Wagner comes out and then immediately followed by Riley, who beats the shit out of him on the entranceway, and then we get into the match. Again, it's a good match, a good opening contest with a lot of beatdown. You can't escape the cage in NXT, whereas on Raw and SmackDown you can. And that
yeah,
way
but you can also escape, quote unquote, the cage by just asking politely for the door to be opened, please, which is so dumb. I hate that rule.
We'll talk about that on Raw. I didn't hate it.
Yeah,
I didn't like it in that match, but we'll get into that a little bit later with the ways to win that match. Yeah, so I mean, the crowd is like, they're chanting "You suck," and then Wagner hits like an impressive gut wrench, and they still chant "You still
suck." Yeah, I don't know. I go back and like sometimes the NXT crowd is funny. Most of the time, they're insufferable. 100% of the time, they're split 50-50, and I find that very irritating. Yeah. Although they came together in the end, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, so I mean, Wagner eventually gets the win. He does a butterfly underhook suplex, which is like the most generic creator wrestler you can do.
Yeah, it's the flippy do pedigree basically. Like that's all.
Oh
it
yeah,
is. Yeah,
it was fine.
Taking him under his wing.
Exactly, and again, it was fine. There was nothing special about it. But what was special was after the match when Wagner beats the absolute brakes off of Kyle O'Reilly, attacks him, uses the door, swings it on his face, and that was that. And Wagner looks strong. You know what? If that's Kyle O'Reilly's swan song in NXT, he got over a big new heel, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think that's it for him. I think that yesterday made it seem like, okay, yeah, there we go. They might have extended his contract a couple of weeks too, and now off he goes.
And you know what? Like now it's on Wagner. Now it's on Von Wagner to get himself over the promos that he cuts. He needs to work on, or they need to settle him with a mouthpiece.
Yeah,
only way. Maybe give Robert Stone to Von Wagner.
Yeah, instead of these dumb bits where he's just like in the background all the time. I'm so tired of it. Just like you fired everyone who was very talented that was with him, or moved them up to the main roster to be misused. Like, what? Give him something to do, please. I like him.
Yeah. They did the Joe Gacy promo, which I actually really liked, not just because it's my promo, but also because they're finally going to rebrand 205 Live by the sounds of things.
I like that they're doing it narratively too. They're using that to put over a guy, which is fresh. I really appreciate that.
Exactly. So Harlan's going to make his in-ring debut next week. Sure.
Woo, you excited?
I do not care because he'll do a forward roll and a leapfrog and then do a big power slam type move, and that'll be it. Either way, I do like that. Like I said, the rebranding 205 Live, it's about time. And also it'll give 205 Live a little bit more of a direction, because we talked about it the last couple of weeks. 205 Live is now the NXT version of Main Event, or the NXT version of Dark, whatever you want to call it. It's the perfect opportunity for new talent to understand how to work TV in a low pressure environment with a live crowd.
Yeah. What odds on if Harlan does a frog splash? I feel like everyone does a frog splash nowadays. Everyone who can't wrestle does a frog splash.
Because he's a big man, he's probably been told don't, but because he's a big man, he may have also been told, yeah, do it.
Exactly. They might they seem to forget that it's not interesting, and then every now and again we'll make a big man do something like very basic as if it's impressive. Like, ooh.
Braun Breaker does an in-ring promo, and then out comes Malcolm Bivens and Diamond Mine, and Bivens calls LeBron Breaker, which fantastic. Just
Is it? Was that fantastic? That was that. I don't. It's like okay.
I liked it. Come on,
Maybe I just
calling him
don't
a
get it.
crybaby. Come on.
Because LeBron's a crybaby.
There you go.
I mean, that's what happens when you propel a child to unbelievable wealth. They become emotionally stunted. Difficult.
They didn't take the title off of Roderick Strong at War Games.
No,
Joe Gacy did not win the match.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means for the future of that cruiserweight division because
there's no more weight limit apparently, which is like okay, I don't see why that needs to be permanent, but he's decimated the cruiserweight division. No, WWE management decimated the cruiserweight division, but here we are, and for some reason they haven't thrown that belt in the trash.
It's the X division. It's no limits, no weight limits, no limits, whatever you want to call it. It's whatever. You know what? I just want to see them do something with it because that cruiserweight title, they supposedly had plans. And then, of course, everything changed with 2.0 and the gutting of the cruiserweights. Everything went to hell. So now they got to figure out what that purple title means.
Yeah, I don't know. Hunter's ticker took a kick in, and now they decided to unravel anything that was happening with that, and here we are.
Well, now it's Shawn Michaels who's in charge of everything. He's the guy who gets the final say, apparently.
Self-hating,
not the final say. He's the guy.
Self-hating little man. That's what it is.
He's seen the light. Yeah, and then they got Briggs and Jensen doing a shoving
their
match.
video package that was like, we had terrible fathers. And they're from Alabama. Here's some people of color so that you know we're not those type of Alabamans.
Oh dear.
It just seemed really pointed. like I have black friends and it's like, oh man, this sucks.
But the point of the match, just back on track, wasn't about having Briggs and Jensen versus the Creed brothers. It was about having GYV show up and do the silly grab the tag rope. How do you feel about them doing that?
Okay, here's the thing. If the tag rope mattered at all at any point leading up to this, great bit. But it hasn't, and it doesn't, so bad bit. And we're back to the 4-team shuffle with the tag teams. Like, I don't...
So we talked about it in the Discord, by the way, there's a free link in the video description. We talked about who the actual tag teams are in NXT. There's 7 teams in canon that you could have for a tournament.
Yeah, you could, but you don't. It's only ever 4 at a time, and they're always 4 together.
And then they have the 4-way match where everyone declares intention, and one person or one team comes out as the number 1 contender. I get it. I'm assuming that for the women's title at New Year's Evil, I thought it would they maybe do a 4-way, do a fatal 4-way with Mandy, Io, Raquel, and Cora. And instead, I feel like they might just do a 4-way, take out Mandy Rose, put in Kaylee Ray, and then do a 4-way to determine number 1 contender, and they'll make it a ladder match or some shit.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They love their ladder matches in NXT. Anyway, Briggs and Jensen get the win, and that's fine. They're still building on wins, but then in the back, what the hell happened? They did the weird shoving match. They had jacket time, and then the Creed brothers, and then all of a sudden, Casey Square come from the back like, we got 2 concert tickets.
Oh yeah, with the worst like high school theater tier acting possible.
It's high school. NXT is high school.
It sure is. It felt that moment felt very high school. I guess they're just gonna go celebrate, and they're reminding you that Casey and Caden exist. That's all that was.
Very, very strange.
And like, what is their Briggs and Jensen? What is this? What is this weird hand thing they do?
I have no clue.
Yeah, if you notice, they both like each one of them holds out a hand and they touch like that in the middle, and I don't know what that means.
Are they
not like the Dark Order? No. The fingers are together fingers. Big difference. I don't know. No. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Like, is it them holding a beer they're not allowed to hold on TV, or like what?
Actually, might be it.
Yeah, I don't know. Would like some clarity on the meaning.
Karen Q, the former Mei Ying, waking up from her nap after 120 years.
Yeah,
that's how I would do it. I remember waking up after a 120-year bender on the floor of high school.
My God, yeah.
You got to go back. If you go back 3 or 4 weeks, we talked about this. I did a whole thing about how NXT high school works. Andre Chase is absolutely one of the teachers. And so is Joe Gacy. Duke Hudson, Cameron Grimes.
Guidance counselor.
I didn't hate it. I do like that Hudson comes out and does the reverse Kurt Angle, in that when Angle did it, his hair was brown and the headgear was white.
Yeah.
And this time Duke Hudson comes out, it's blonde and black. It was silly.
It was fine.
It's the same thing. It's just copying the homework 21 years later. And it was fine. I like that. I don't really like that now they're going to do another match.
No, that seems super unnecessary. I thought like, oh, they're going to do it tonight. Oh, no, they're not. Okay.
So now the hair wasn't enough. Now we got to do another one. Sure.
No holds barred.
So quote, he can't cheat again. And I was like, wait a minute. How did he how did we cheat last time?
He pulled the trunks.
But he lost.
Oh, no. So that I can't cheat again. Cameron Grimes was like, if you're so concerned about cheating, let's just make it so nothing is cheating.
And did you see on socials, Rhea Ripley updated her profile picture to that photo of Duke Hudson? Very funny. Love it.
I did.
That's a friendship worth having forever. Yeah. Let's move on. What else happened in the show? Mello and Dexter was a fine match. Don't need to talk about that much.
Yeah, nothing worth talking about. It happened. Same with the indie Dexter stuff. Don't care.
Well, especially because they DQ finished at the longest match of the night.
Yeah.
Just to what? To make both men look good? It didn't make sense. One thing that I thought about was
like, why have Mello come out with taped ribs and all that hubbub and just have Dexter like not win? Like, you needed to give Dexter a win over someone like Mello so that he has credibility to be facing someone like Mello. Like, I don't know.
Dexter needs a new friend too, because Johnny Gargano, I thought maybe it was going to be okay. Gargano's going to stick around for a little bit and finish this off, but no, it doesn't seem that way. And we'll get to the main event, to the main event segment. But yeah, I mean, with Dexter's all alone. He's got to find a new friend, and I don't know who that could be.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no one.
Could be the shaman.
No, they're going to divorce him and then release him.
No, don't say that. They like him.
I like him, so don't
like his shtick.
Don't do that.
The shaman is Riddle.
Yeah, makes sense. In the end, I don't know how we didn't see that.
I mean, I think it was one of the things where we said, no, it can't be that obvious. Riddle just wants to make towns, I guess.
I mean, we suggested RVD. We should have just picked up. Oh, wait, there's already another RVD.
A lot of people were saying RVD. I was saying X-Pac. I was like, let's do the DX trifecta.
But they're not doing that. And I'm fine. I'm fine not leaning on nostalgia.
The only reason I'm okay with it now is because Riddle said that he is going to start riding along with MSK. So it sounds like Riddle's going to start making towns with MSK.
Double duty?
I guess he can just go to Florida after TV on Monday.
Okay. We'll see.
And of course, Riddle was gifted pot because of that. Yeah. Mandy Rose is like, hey, Joseph, shut up. Shut up, Vic Joseph. You're the worst.
Everybody shut up.
Shut up. Keep drooling, she says. And then they come out, but not until Persia Parada and Indy are in the back. Persia's doing her best. She's like, you got to put all your effort into this tag team, or else we're not a tag team anymore. Sorry, that was more British than Australian. Yeah. They want to be there. So they came up together. They're besties, blah, blah. And then Hartwell's like, I'm committed to both. I'm hedging. But my favorite part of that entire segment was when Johnny Gargano shows up and he's just like, the family's back. Hey, Persia. And then just like butts her out of, it was perfect. Little thing like that.
Yeah, it was really good. Johnny kills it every time.
Knows how to act. Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane take on Valentina Feroz and Yulisa Leon in what was a really good match. It was short, but it was perfect for Feroz and Leon to have that outing. I don't have anything else to add to that. Neither do you.
Their gimmick, their music is weird, but they're not actually debuted, so that's fine.
Oh, you're talking the
belly dance.
Sorry, if you're in audio, you're missing us dancing to this ridiculous. All the more reason to go to timandjoelpod.com and catch the video. I'm going to clip that video and just start putting it on the timeline randomly. Anyway, after the match, Mandy Rose, we talked about it, going to do the whole Either everyone declares intention or it's going to be a fatal 4-way, maybe a fatal 5-way with Kaylee Ray, but they didn't really do much with Kaylee Ray.
No, they're not. It's not. Here's your bat. I'm going to go hang out in the back some more.
I got plenty of bats. Is she works in a batting cage? What are we doing?
I don't know. Maybe family member makes bats.
It's no longer Rage Room enthusiast Kaylee Ray. It is now batting cage employee, batting cage manager Kaylee Ray. Good for her. She's going up in life. She got herself a new job. Tiffany Stratton, yada yada, made the Olympics.
Yeah,
yada yada.
Good promo.
Good promo.
I think I said it on the watch along. There was a rumor that they were going to drop the daddy shtick, but they didn't. So I'm glad about that.
Just like when Joe Gacy got a lot of people talking, and then they pulled those vignettes, they're doing the same thing here with Stratton, where people are talking, but then WWE is just like, no, forget that. We're gonna bring it back.
Yeah. It's good.
She has anger issues and more bats. Kaylee Ray. That's right. She has to pay for her Rage Room enthusiasm by working at the batting cages where she has access to the bats. And then she takes the bats to the Rage Room. See, everything runs together. Come on, the characters, they talk themselves. Tony D'Angelo wasn't much.
I like this.
I like that
he stole the mouth guard, and then they continued it, and that's how they transitioned to the feud with Pete Dunne. Like it
over a mouth guard.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty insulting. Could have concussed the man.
I don't know.
The man who regularly breaks everyone's fingers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you sure you want to go with that one? But okay.
I don't know.
Escobar and Quinn, Zion Quinn, Escobar had a good match. I expected a little bit more out of this in terms of the storytelling. Now the story that they're trying to tell is what's her name? Elektra Lopez. Is she trying to get Quinn disqualified, or was she trying to give him the victory with the brass knucks? Like, what were we doing here? We're still kind of driving to this dissension. What do you think?
Yeah, it doesn't matter much to me. I'm not too into this. I find it awkward.
I still think the play is Lopez and Quinn become the power couple, like co-owners of Legado del Fantasma, and then Santos Escobar is on his own as like this red hot baby face. People want to cheer him.
Yeah, they do. I don't know. I think you should move up, but if they move him up, they're just gonna throw him with Los Lotharios, and it's gonna suck. So.
Listen, Santos is stupidly good looking. I can see them doing it. He is.
I know.
Come on, man.
It won't be any good though.
He is disastrously good looking.
It could be good.
Frustratingly good looking.
It could be good, but they don't know how to write it, so it won't be any good. So let's not wish it on them.
That's fine. Diamond Mine in the parking lot. Really, the only thing that was funny. Oh, Hayes and Trick, and I love that Bivens is just like, you Mellow and you Trick, and he just like completely disrespects the name. And then at the end of the thing, throws down the towel. Just like, why is everyone so disrespectful around here? Oh, silly shit. And then Johnny Gargano comes out.
Aw.
So Gargano has he's crying already. He comes out and talks, and he says we could go long because Chucky's not on. And then the movie, he's like, London is calling, or London is falling. It's on next. I liked Femme Nikita better, which was hilarious. Yeah. And then he goes through his time in NXT, 6 years. He had a dark match with Apollo Crews, got him hired, and he's been Johnny Wrestling ever since then, or since before then. But yeah, says he was a shy, chubby 8-year-old kid, and someone in the crowd yells, "I'm still chubby."
From this segment on, the crowd gets its stuff together and isn't so annoying. But
at that point, I'm like, that is the most self-aware that crowd at NXT has ever been.
Yeah,
that one guy yelling, "I'm still chubby." It's like, yeah. Oh, the best. And then thanks everyone. He thanks Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Sarah Amato, Matt Bloom, JB, who is oh my god, why would I bring him up if I don't know his name? Oh my god, Jeremy Borash, because I had the name Joseph in front of me, and others, people who, Vic Joseph, his best friend, and and then as he's talking, the crowd starts to boo. But that's before.
And that was and I was like, "What is happening? Why is everyone getting so angry?"
So I missed the part where he's like, "I don't know what the future holds," and then he says he's going to be a father, and he's excited for that.
Papa.
And they're chanting "baby wrestling," and I'm like, "Thank God they're not chanting Johnny Daddy."
Yeah, that's.
And then yes, so all of a sudden the crowd is booing, like we were saying, and we don't know what's going on because it's happening over here and Johnny's talking to us over here. Camera's being really good about not getting
Yeah,
anyone
yeah,
in
yeah.
shot, but you can see where they're pointing to, like the crowd is pointing to that. And then Grayson Waller wallops Johnny Gargano.
It's a good wallop.
Sorry, I do have to bring this
Wallop.
up. I missed this earlier. The Waller and LA Knight, segment was ace. That was great.
Look, he looks like a Chad, but he got big incel mad. That's what happened here.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So I'd missed that. LA Knight has himself a new date. Yeah.
It was pretty slick. I liked all that.
So good.
Set this up now too for this guy to be, a loser.
So Waller, who had been put up as like the best, not the best member, but the most impactful member of Team 2.0 in War Games.
Impacts, yeah.
Because of that, they were pushing him the entire night. They were talking about his performance and it was breakout, blah, blah, blah. And he was great. But the problem is people are still trying to get to understand Grayson Waller.
Because wasn't the crowd chanting, "Who are you?" or something like that?
They kind of were. He had a great match with Ciampa 2 weeks back too. That's the thing. Like,
he did.
He can go.
Yes.
He can wrestle.
He can wrestle.
Good. But yeah, so Gargano gets put through a table and just beat up, and it's great. And Waller's like, my views. These are my views, my clicks, and I'm fine with that. I think this is maybe a little bit more out of Grayson Waller that we didn't get before. Anything else from that?
No, I thought that was top tier. Johnny went out, put over a guy too, so it's good.
So post show, after the show, Gargano, O'Reilly, they come out, and Ciampa comes out. Ciampa was not on the show, which I like because of all the people who were a part of War Games and everything. He's the only one. He's the one who took the pin, and he's the one who sat out for the night, and I appreciated that.
Yeah,
and that was a good little like. It's taking the week off. We're going to breathe. Braun Breaker got the win. Let him capitalize momentum, move forward. And now Ciampa will come back after people forget that he took the pin, or at least like it's part of the psyche. He's convalescing. Anyway, so those three are in the ring. They hug and everything. And Candice comes out and they did a whole thing. It was nice. It was cute.
That's cute. Yeah.
So now Johnny is done. Kyle is done. That's the end of their 10 years in NXT. I think you and I have pretty much figured out what's going to happen to Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
You think he'll be in Long Island tonight?
Yeah.
If he's not in Long Island tonight, I guess winter is coming for him being the.
I would say that would be the surprise. But I don't know that he's that big of a pop. Like, I know a lot. We got some fans who are big fans, but like, is he that big a deal?
Right now tonight, we're going to preview Dynamite probably next. They are doing Best Friends versus the Young Bucks tonight. So I don't know. You still got to have Fish, Cole, and O'Reilly somewhere in this whole thing, right? I don't know. It's weird. And then Johnny Gargano. What do we do with Johnny?
Oh, I think he's just going to be a papa for a while. He might do one-offs, do some indie things, but I think his intention is to not wrestle as like a full schedule.
I think you're absolutely right. I think with Johnny, it's not about where he's going. It's about how much time he's going to take to be a dad.
Yeah.
Because he has so much experience in wrestling, and he has done so much that I think he's ready for a break and maybe a new challenge. And fatherhood is a challenge. It's different. He might, and listen, he wants his wife to do good things in wrestling too. She has things that she wants to accomplish. Maybe he feels like he's accomplished as much as he wants to in wrestling. We'll see. But he's got some time before he actually goes somewhere else. Or he might just stay with WWE, become a main roster guy. We just talked about his action chops.
Yeah, if he comes back, I think he's just main roster. And I think he is a WWE guy, right? He seems pretty content with how he was handled there. So
right. I don't see a reason why he wouldn't just take the time off, come back 2022, do whatever. Maybe he'll restart Evolve. That's going to be the Johnny Wrestling camp.
Yeah, maybe.
He'll be the commissioner of 205 Live.
Whatever it becomes.
It'll become Johnny's 205 Wrestling World.
That's a terrible name. There's no marketability there.
There is if you try, right?
It sounds like some highway pit stop sad fair, right? Like one of those weird petting zoos.
Oh, that sounds great. I'm all about weird petting zoos.
No. I'm thinking more like Five Nights at Freddy's type horror show. Anyway.
Fair. So that was NXT, and that's that. But yeah, so Kyle O'Reilly goes there. We'll talk about KO. We'll talk about Sammy in a bit after we talk about Raw. Do you want to talk about Dynamite? Do you want to preview Dynamite first?
Ciao.
Let's do Dynamite. Long Island, we're at the UBS Arena tonight. And of course, everyone's been talking about that because Raw was just there the week before with not as much of an attendance as tonight looks to be. So it's exciting for AEW. They're going to have a big house tonight on Long Island. And Bryan Danielson, he's going to have himself another beatdown on the hometown for Johnny Hungee, for John Silver. What do you expect? What do you think is going to come out of this other than John Silver clearly beating Bryan Danielson a week before Winter is coming, right?
No, I don't think so. I think John Silver's big win here is when he goes to stomp on his face and he's got his arms, is that Johnny Hungee uses those powerful little arms to kind of, prevent the stomping of the face from happening.
Okay. How do you do that? He's got both hands.
You throw him.
He's going to push him.
He's got him by the wrists. You flip him. You flip him that way into the buckle.
Kind of like that. That's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah. Hopefully they put it together. It's pretty easy.
If you're listening right now, Johnny, please, you know what to do.
Yeah. That's how you defend. You have powerful arms and Bryan is small.
That's right.
You're also small, but the arms,
We made reference to this. The Young Bucks with Adam Cole, Bebe, taking on Rocky Romero and Chucky T with Orange Cassidy. So there's going to be 6 men in the ring or at the ring, but it's going to be a tag match. So what do we do? Is this going to be the Kyle O'Reilly show?
I think it'd be most exciting if he shows up that quickly day after.
I see it. Technically, it could be the 10th that his contract ends. Could have been a week extension. Who knows?
I hope not. Ruin my good time. I don't want to see him debut on Rampage. Let's not do that.
Listen, I would love that. Rampage is taped anyway. Wouldn't you want... This is like the whole Lana's coming in with Miro. This is the same thing where someone every month or Winter is coming. This is our bit now. Kyle O'Reilly is coming. He's at coming. Every show.
He's on the way. He's in the car.
Yeah. Oh, this was great, by the way. If you haven't watched BTE yet, you can literally just go to the final clip of the night. Anna Jay is like, I want to beat up Bryan. And everyone's like, what are you going to do to him? And she starts beating the shit out of Stu Grayson and whipping him side to side. And then she grabs his arms and they're like, are you going to kick his head in? And she's like, no, I'm going to kick his dick in. And she just starts pounding on it. And it's so silly and it's so stupid, but it popped me so hard. It was so funny. And then they do the chant, that you're going to get your effing head kicked in, and they clap out that. And then they do that, but they say you're going to get your effing dick kicked in. It's very good, and it's so silly. Go watch this week's BTE, if nothing else, just for that segment. It's like 5 minutes. It's very funny. They go by Uno talks about how he's feeling after the match, and Colt talks about having his jaw wired shut. It's very it's good stuff. It's funny. It's not, he didn't really
very funny.
Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal. Is this MJF's match to lose? Who wins? Boy. Who's in the stupid thing?
I don't know. Has it been a full year? I don't remember them doing.
I don't remember. It's usually December.
Weird. Is it? Okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. If anyone knows who's in this Dynamite Battle Royal, let's find out who is in the Dynamite Battle Royal.
I could see them having MJF win it 3 years in a row, just because no one ever does that in wrestling. There's no 3 in a row type thing. There's back to back, but there's never lean into.
I don't see anything. Dynamite. Nothing. Diamond Royal.
Diamond Royal.
12-man match will feature 2-time winner MJF, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, and Dante Martin. And I assume Leo Rush is also a part of it.
A full quarter of it is Team Taz. They mentioned that.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
I guess maybe 10 from Dark Order.
Sure.
I'm guessing Sean Spears, maybe? Dude, I have no idea. That's the thing.
Yeah, there's got to be some other Pinnacle guys. I'd say Wardlow, Sean Spears, both of them.
But then they're expected to roll out for MJF because MJF wants to retain. It's very strange. I get that we're trying to do this MJF retains and Wardlow turns or Wardlow goes face thing, but I don't know how you get there, at least like this. Oh, there you go. The last Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal was
excellent.
December
So
3rd.
I appreciate that they kept track of that decently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see them breaking up anyone from the Pinnacle through this because we still need to have Wardlow and CM Punk, right? So.
Yeah. I don't know, but do they retain? Does MJF retain?
I think MJF retains. That's what I think is going to happen tonight. I think they might do something weird like that.
I think I'm ready for a new diamond ring holder.
But does it matter? Has it mattered at all? Like,
no,
it's just a prop MJF uses to punch people with.
But he only brings it out towards the end of it, like towards the end of its cycle. So during the year, it doesn't matter. It's only when we get into the November, December time that it matters. But it's time for somebody else to maybe do it. If it's on Team Taz, then you can tell a story with the 4 of them sharing it or the 4 of them making something out of it.
Yeah.
Who do you put it on in Team Taz? Dante? You can have Dante turn on Team Taz. It'll be a short turn.
Quickly? Yeah.
Yeah. It could be a quick story beat. I don't
and then
mind
right back to Leo Rush. He was like, it was the long con. I got tired of them harassing us.
Yeah, I needed my big win, and the Dynamite Battle Royal is my big win.
You get all those allies, yeah. Leo Rush is in it, I assume. Yeah,
he's supposed to be. He wasn't on the thing that I just read, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is. Yeah. So that's the Diamond Battle Royal, and then Jamie Hayter and Riho is a match that I'm looking forward to. They'll go ham, and it just continues the story of Riho and Dr. Britt Baker, DM Dynamite.
Yeah,
that's what's announced. Tony Khan is doing this thing now where. Oh yeah, he is. Leo is part of the
Diamond he is.
Yeah, I just saw a tweet about it. Anyway, Tony Khan is doing this thing now where Rampage is when he starts announcing everything that's going on for the next week, which I kind of appreciate, but it's also his way of trying to get people to tune into Rampage to find out what's on Dynamite the next week. It's good and bad. It's good and bad.
Yeah, watch this thing to see what's going to happen on the other thing.
Yeah, exactly. Want to talk about Raw?
Sure.
It's up to you, man. We don't have to. We could just go home early.
Whoa, really? Okay, no, screw it.
Absolutely not.
Look, we can talk about a few. We can talk about a few things from Raw. Yeah, cage match, A+, as always. Too many victory conditions, but A+.
I really enjoyed that cage match. A good way to kill 35 minutes. I like the opening of Raw where they had the 3 interviews. They did the Saturday night's main event open that Bruce Pritchard is very proud of. It's something that he does all the time. But what you didn't like in the match was the cage escaping.
See, I like cage escape as the only victory condition if it's you must escape the cage by going over the cage, which I think they did for a while. I hate the opening the door bit because it's just like, that's just dumb. It's so easy to do that. Like, it's hard to suspend my disbelief that it's difficult to quickly get out a door at any point. Like, that's not difficult to me, and it doesn't ever play well when they're like, oh, they stopped him. It's like, yeah, because he was moving like a snail for no good reason. And I hate the pinfall submission in the cage because it kind of negates the point of the cage to me. Like, I get it's they can't escape, but it's like, well, for years the whole point of it was that you needed to try to escape. So
I don't hate escaping the cage.
I like it. I prefer it. I just wish it was exclusively that and not the door.
I understand. What really comes down to is how the match is set out. I don't care if it's pinfall submissions or escape. I think it's all about how you lay out the match. And I don't like if the match is going for the door, going for the door, going for the door. Like, if that's your only attempt to win and it's always the same stuff, that gets boring to me. So on the other hand, if you're going to do it like that, the only person who can keep going for the door and getting taken out is the heel.
Yeah, it's got to be KO, and you've got to grab him by the heel at all times. Like, you got to like just catch him. Like, it's got to happen quick, and you both have to time it well. And if it's not timed well, it looks so bad. So it's something that, like, it walks the line of being done correctly, and it's not easy. Like, even for top tier talent, it's not easy.
Seth comes out. Seth basically bashes both men's faces in as they're attempting to escape via the door. And Seth is like, this is amazing content. I don't know. I enjoyed Seth coming out. I didn't mind his
it's a triple threat build.
Yeah.
Of course he's gonna come out.
I think, honestly, of like all the options that we have here, these 3 are absolutely doing the best work.
Yeah.
And they're telling the right stories right now between the 3 characters. I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
and I didn't mind Seth getting involved.
Yeah, top belt narrative right now is bang on. It's great stuff.
Big E hits the big ending from the top, which I
Beautiful big
really
ending.
appreciated. Ooh, really good. And then he escapes the cage.
Yep.
Big E fights free and leaves the cage,
Walks on out.
stomps his way out, and he's excited. And then Seth attacks Big E. They go to break eventually. They come back. Everyone's laid out, and they draw no attention to it until they say Bobby Lashley showed up. Remember, like 2 weeks ago, when everyone was like, Bobby Lashley's turning face because of these vignettes.
Because they
showing.
kept hammering us in
They
the
did.
face with these face vignettes. So I'm confused. I don't understand.
Bobby Lashley's going to come out next week and be just like, I saw those vignettes. That was bullshit.
Hate.
I don't care
I
what you
hated
think.
wrestling in high school. Dad made me do it.
I told them not to put those out on. Anyway, it was fine. I don't mind it. I just don't want to see Lashley put into the day one main event and make it a fatal 4-way.
Oh, please don't do that. Yeah, no.
I see the interest in having Bobby join in to make Big E a bigger victor because he beats the top 3 guys on Raw. But at the same time, what are you going to do afterwards? You're going to go to one of these guys one-on-one. Like,
no, you
we
go
don't.
right to Goldberg, baby.
That's true. We're going to go.
Oh, these
no, you know,
four
we're going
top
to go.
guys couldn't do it. We're getting Goldberg.
We're going to go to
Agent Goldberg.
Lashley. It'll be Lashley 2 weeks from day one. And then it'll be Goldberg right after he beats Lashley. Because he'll be like, you know who else beat Lashley? Me.
You're
And then
next.
You're next. That's how we do it. That's all that Lashley's there for.
Blech.
Anyway. So because of the cage match being on first, that means that Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch would be on last. And we're going to get there in a minute. I don't really want to talk about the Zelina Nikki Ash thing, but I do want to talk about. I do want to talk about what the hell happened backstage with Nikki Ash getting mistakenly. I don't know. That was dumb. Jerry Lawler's backstage. A woman's like, "Oh my god, can I have your autograph?"
As if anyone under 50 is that much of a Jerry Lawler fan.
Jesus Christ, so ridiculous.
Oh.
So the woman's like, "Can I have an autograph?" And Nikki Ash is like, "Oh, absolutely. This might be looking up after all." She's like, "Oh, I meant him." And then Lawler's like, "Haha, screw you, little girl.
This old white pervert. Please give me your autograph."
It was awful. I did not like it.
Garbage.
Did not like it. Jerry Lawler re-signed a contract this year. This week.
Of course, yeah.
Did you like the arcade Bronament? I know how much you love stumpy brackets.
hey, baby, the stumpiest bracket ever.
Somebody's listening to the show and just being like, this time we're gonna screw that Tim guy.
I saw that and I was like, wow, you're not. Yeah, you made a point of giving us the stumpiest bracket ever. In a 5 tag team shuffle. Good stuff with the Arcade Bro in their terrible blazers at the top.
Oh, you didn't like the blazers?
They're so tan.
One thing that I had, the thing that really bugged me was Riddle wearing his IFB, his in-ear monitor, like I do, wearing it backwards. Like hanging off of his ear, and I'm like, this is killing me right now.
I know, it's so weird.
Oh my goodness, that was the worst.
So that ate up a full hour of Raw.
I didn't hate
arcade Bronament.
At least you're putting stakes on something, and I know it's stumpy brackets, blah blah blah. But
Stumpy stakes. There's so many other tag teams, but that's fine. It was fine. The matches were decent. Oh, you're muted. What's going on? You're muted. Unmute yourself. I'm going to do it.
My audio decided to screw up.
Yeah, you're muted. I unmuted you. I saved you.
My audio is still screwed
Praise
up.
me. Oh.
Friends, hold on.
Hold on, friends. Blazers, baby blue. Yeah, see, that would have been cooler. That makes more sense. I don't get the tan blazer.
My Focusrite is the worst.
Oh, it's okay. All Focusrites are the worst. Shout out to Focusrite. Make better products.
You're going to get 2 different audio files when we do this later.
That's okay.
Oh, no, you might. Maybe not. Anyway, you might just have to take this audio file.
No!
There are worse things in the world. Okay, let's keep going. We talked about the Blazers. We're done with that. And we talked about Nikki Ash. And we talked about the Bronament.
Almost and AJ are breaking up. I don't care. I don't care.
You think so, eh?
I don't care either way.
Street Profits win. They win by count out. Blah blah blah.
Of course they do.
Okay, so I will talk about it. Damian Priest, Robert Roode had a match for the US title. It was an open title match, and I thought it was really good.
It's always good.
And
Robert
what
Roode's
I
good.
what I really liked more than anything else was Damian Priest didn't do the stupid duality of
Didn't
man
happen.
Hulk up.
Oh, they didn't do it for 1 week.
And if they don't do it again, I'll be just as happy.
Never. It's dumb.
Dolph Ziggler is probably going to get the next title shot. That's fine.
Yep, 100%.
And I mentioned on Twitter, Robert Roode is like the most curious case in WWE right now for talent that's there and utilized in a certain way that's like he's going to stick around.
It's consistent work. He's on TV
consistent.
every week. Like,
if nothing else, him and Ziggler are like they're the perfect tag team for this.
because they're those two guys, extremely talented, top guys, just there, just doing their thing.
Consistency, they put on a match really well. Like they know how to put matches together. They know what to do, and they both have similar backgrounds in certain ways. Like there's something there, and I like it. It's very appreciated.
Their presence makes the live show a lot more appealing. Like, you know, at least you're going to get a decent match from those guys for sure. Like,
there to be foils for the babyface champions. That's fine by me.
Sure.
It doesn't need to be perfect, but I mean, as long as Ziggler doesn't do it should have been me all the time, then we're
every time he gets to get squashed on Raw by someone, it's a good night.
I agree. I'm all for squashes on Raw. And if you're not, then I don't know what to tell you, friends.
Look, I can't wait for Big E and Dolph Ziggler. Did that already happen?
No, Big E and Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah, do it up.
I feel like they've done it. Have they not?
It's definitely happened, but like not with Big E as champ. So let's do that.
Okay, fine by me. Belair and Doudrop. I liked the match. I didn't love the finish, but I liked what led to the finish. Do you remember this at all?
Match felt kind of long to me.
It was about 10 or 15 minutes, but I do like.
Oh, so almost as long as the main event.
Yes. What I did like though is so trying to hoist up Doudrop for the KOD, and Doudrop's like, hell no, and she just hightails it out of there. I don't mind that. I kind of like that.
It's good.
New
song at least.
Yeah, she got a new theme.
Yeah,
I liked it.
That's good. Nice right choice.
And then we have Vince
Wait,
McMahon.
didn't they do Big E and Ziggler? Wasn't Ziggler like, or am I thinking? No, I'm thinking of Drew. Thinking of Drew and Ziggler. Never mind. Proceed.
I'm gonna look this up now, just because now we're thinking about it. Vince McMahon and Austin Theory.
Oh, more of this for some reason.
You're gonna have a match tonight. Oh wait, never mind. You're not gonna have a match tonight, but you have to impress me. I'll do jumping jacks, baby.
Hey, good enough. It led to Austin versus Finn, which makes sense to me.
It's fine
for that. That'll be fine feud. Hopefully Finn wins because he's got to keep winning some.
Big E defeats Dolph Ziggler at Tribute to the Troops.
That makes sense. And no wonder I didn't know it happened, because I'm not ever going to watch Tribute to the Troops. So
neither am I. I had a friend who was there for that, and she didn't even watch Tribute to the Troops. She was like, we were there, but we were not there in reality.
Out of body experience that was.
Yeah. They're like, they tried to give us American flags. We said, no, thank you. They were very close to the front row for that too. Anyway, so they do the Vince McMahon Austin Theory thing. So I don't hate what becomes of this. I don't hate like what they go get my attention stuff. But I don't need Vince, and I don't need Austin Theory. It's a very awkward coupling, and I just need Theory and Shane McMahon to get together and have their inevitable match.
Yeah, for Daddy's.
All it is. But instead, we'll just fast forward. They did Finn versus T-Bar, which, by the way, was a really good match. It's very short, but these two men can work, and it was a very fun match.
Finn needed a win, so I can see why they gave him T-Bar. At least it's a good match every single time with T-Bar.
Finn gets the win, like you said, and then Austin Theory comes out, beats him down, takes a selfie, and that's where we're going next. I don't hate it. It sucks that Finn's most likely going to lose. Or
no, please no.
You think Finn can win this thing?
I think he can win it. I think Finn still has like a decent amount of respect, and they got to manage him carefully so that they can pull him out now and again to be a legitimate competitor.
But
I
what
don't
about
know.
Austin Theory? What do you do with him?
I don't know. Maybe Shane comes out costing the match. Boom. Slow build to WrestleMania.
That is a
Austin
very
Theory's
slow build.
Austin Theory's second WrestleMania main event falls back into obscurity.
Oh dear. You want to talk about Miz TV? I liked Miz TV.
Yeah, it was good. Solid. Miz came out, Miz'd all over the place.
Yeah, that was an M, right? Yeah, does his thing, says his wife's not with him, which gets a lot of boos, which I understand. And then Edge comes out and they tell a pretty good story. I mean, listen, it's not just about sneakers.
Yeah,
who
which,
wears the nicer shoes?
Again, neither one of you both overpaid for shoes.
Nice shoes. And then they're talking about how Miz had to walk on eggshells, and it wasn't about him eating chicken that got him kicked out of the locker room. It was because he didn't fit the mold. It's because he was always better than people, blah, blah, blah. And then Edge is like, I tried to tell you, but you didn't want to listen.
Stubborn Michael.
And I like that at that point, Miz is just like, you what? Like, he didn't, it was in his facials. He was like, you tried to what now? Very like out of this world. He wasn't paying attention. And then all of a sudden he got slingshot back to reality by Edge, who's telling him like, I tried to help you, but you didn't want to listen. So now you're an ass and I'm going to beat you at day one. Fine by me.
Yeah, it's good build. And here we go. Good pay-per-view match. A couple of great competitors.
Can Miz win this thing and really capitalize on this year of the Miz that he said he was going to have? No? Why not?
Yeah, it's Edge.
I guess.
They love Edge too much. It's going to be Edge.
I guess. Edge is like, hey, we can fight now. And then he goes to make a fist and Miz falls on the floor and he's like, you coward. And that's
sometime at some point before the Miz, Edge is going to be back in the title picture. So
that's probable. I'm fine with that. I would like that to be happening actually in the summertime. Exactly. Yeah. So Otis never gets into a tag match that he's in with Chad Gable against the Mysterios.
Do you remember when Otis was in a good tag team?
It's starting to feel like Otis is going to break up with Chad Gable. And then Chad Gable, unfortunately, is going to look like he's going to become a 24/7 jerk. That's it. But with Otis, they can at least do something with this new look, new character, but they haven't done anything yet.
No, it's been a while now.
Waiting on something. Either way, Mysterio's advance in the Arcade Bronament. It's going to be Mysterios and Street Profits next week. That's a good match. Can't make a bad face about that.
I don't care.
Oh, come on, man. Rey Mysterio, Montez Ford having a one-on-one. Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't know anymore. Rey Mysterio maybe a while ago. Certainly not Dominic Mysterio. Montez Ford, I feel like he just needs to be with... I don't know. He's got better matches that could be happening, but they're not doing it.
Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan is the main event, as many people were talking about, expecting.
The build package.
Okay, so the build package. Remember all the times you and I talked about Liv Morgan and that self-owned documentary Live Forever that WWE produced?
Yeah,
that's what that was from.
Yeah,
most of that was from that documentary.
Hilarious.
I mean, listen, as of 4 p.m. Eastern on Monday, that match was not scheduled to main event. Something changed in the afternoon. Yes, something changed in the afternoon to give them the main event slot. And again, they kept harping on the fact that Trish and Lita had their main event match like 15 years ago to the day on Raw. And it was like the first time a women's match main evented Raw. So like it was a thing. And I don't know. I think the hype was there. I think a lot of people really wanted Liv, at least on the internet, to win. It seemed like the crowd didn't care either way. The Becky
that
Lynch,
little girl that they zoomed in on.
And I loved, and I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
It felt like Becky had the upper hand. Becky, not in promos. Liv had a good promo, decent promo going out before the match. But like Becky's promo was, you're just learning. You're teetering on that moment before they stop respecting you. They stop liking you. It was good. It was two really good promos to get to a match that also was Liv's coming out party. It was. For those who were expecting Liv Morgan to win, why?
Yeah, I don't know what's in your head.
I think it's okay.
Too much in the Liv, like the creepy Stan Liviverse.
So here's
The
I'm gonna
liververse. There you go.
the liver said liver worst. I will say this, and this is there is one Liv stan on Twitter that you and I both know, have interacted with, have talked about on the show. She was even shouted out by Liv on Ryan Satin's podcast out of character. Her name's Taryn. Okay. And she's been talked about before. She's very active on Twitter. She's also very much a Liv fan and friendly with Liv. And she herself, who is this huge Liv fan, was like, no, she didn't need to win the title.
No, they did a really good job of elevating her to a wrestler who matters in this, whereas she was nowhere near that before. So they needed to do this step one first. She can come back down the road. Now people can care about her because they actually know something about her, other than one of the ones from the Riot Squad.
Yeah, this was her first title match ever, like women's title match. This was, again, like I said, her coming out party. And she did a lot with it. There were moments, actually, one thing that this to me was like, this was great. She did kind of a slingshot over the top rope onto the apron where she was trying for a double stomp, but it did not look good. So instead she started just booting Becky over and over and made it look brutal. Little things like that are going to continue to get you over and get you the reps needed to have stronger matches and build yourself as a character.
Yeah, because I don't think she's quite there yet, but she is on the way. Like that, like seeing that was like a good change, because I've seen her do matches before where like that would have been it. They just would have carried on. But
so did your opinion, or at least appreciation, of Liv Morgan change as a result of this match?
Yeah, it improved a little bit. Did I think that it was an amazing match? No, I really don't. I think there was a few missed spots too still, but it was good. Like, it wasn't bad. It was, reasonable. And I think they gave them enough time, but not too much time.
I think that opinion matters. I really do, because you and I talk about this a lot. Like your experience and mine, of course, are very different. We approach wrestling from different angles and from different viewpoints. Therefore, I remember when you and I were first talking about Liv, you weren't really big on her.
Nope.
And not that I was, but like I had a little bit more invested than you did. And I like hearing that you thought this match did a little bit more for you to get invested in her than you had been before, or had not been before.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've just seen her do too many like bleh or missed spot like pieces during SmackDown Raw, but this is better. It's good. Improving.
Becky wins by grabbing the rope again and getting the 3 count, which again, I love, because that, as we've pointed out a billion times on the show, is how she wins these big matches.
Yeah.
Now the story has to become, because WWE fans sometimes need to be beat over the head with it, you need to be reminded that this is how Becky continues to win matches, make it a storyline beat, because eventually somebody's going to have to stop her who is not the referee. I mean, look, making the referees look dumb is one thing, but like one of the wrestlers, whoever she has, is going to have to make it a point to stop her from doing that, from grabbing the ropes.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the downfall of Becky Lynch. All in all, it was a good match. All in all, it was a good Raw. Again, had its moments. Some things were better than others, but it's starting to become a much more cohesive 3-hour show than even SmackDown has been as a 2-hour show.
Yeah, lately. Yeah, it's interesting to see them kind of go back and forth, because it's never been both. Like, and that's the shame.
Yep. A lot of people talking about whether or not KO stays or leaves. People thinking that he's in the triple threat because he's going to take the pin and then he's going to show up at Revolution or whatever it is. I'm still thinking KO is sticking around.
Yeah, him being back in the main event this quickly says maybe this was like we'll keep you in the picture. So like it smacks of like that trade-off. It reminds me of like the Jordan Grace stuff in Impact, and like all this like lead up to a contract, and suddenly people get a little bit more present. Not that KO was absent at any moment, which again builds into, will he reset? He's never not been a feature on these shows for the last like couple of years at least. So I think he's good.
I do too. I think you can back up the Briggs truck for him. He's not a guy that he doesn't have to worry about getting cut either. He doesn't have to worry about a random departure unless he decides to be the one to depart. And I say the same thing with Sami Zayn. I mean, I don't know when his contract's up, but the conversation has continued into his contract status and whether or not he goes or stays. I think Sammy's in the same boat. I think
Yeah.
he's happy where he is. I think he likes the development that he has. I think he likes that he doesn't have to take a big ass bump every week.
Yeah. And they get Mania matches when it, like, they get the time when it matters. So
Yeah. Oh, there's an interesting comment. People saying maybe it's going to be Asuka that takes on Becky Lynch and, overtakes her. It's not bad.
it's not a bad idea. I
I
still
don't know
think
if they
that
want to.
if they want to keep building, if they want Bianca Belair to be like a top person for years to come, I think she needs to get back and take it from Becky. But
I would rather Asuka take on the person that wins the title from Becky.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Make her the first big challenger. But yeah, going back to Sami and KO, I see them sticking around. I just do. That's where I'm at. I think we've done it. I think we covered everything we needed to cover.
Whoa.
And now we got to go back to this thing on Sunday. Do it all again. Noon Eastern.
Bleh.
Toss a
Yeah.
thumbs up while you're here, friends. Thumbs up on this thing. Subscribe to the channel. Share the link with your friends. Tell them all. Tell them all about Tim and Joel Pod, would you? Okay. Tim, where can the kids find you on the internet?
You can find me at Timstone, PTIMBSTONEP on Twitter, Instagram.
Show is Tim and Joel Pod, timandjoelpod.com. You can find us Wednesdays and Sundays at noon Eastern, talking about wrestling from all across the world. And we'll be back Sunday noon Eastern. I am at Joel Pearl, JOELPEARL. Ladies, gentlemen, and friends beyond the binary, we will see you on Sunday.